the face of international politics, liberal internationalists see a more ideal world that can be built if there is a free trade, democracy, and international institution. Liberal internationalism is based on the assumption that human nature can be perfected with the right mechanisms in a place such as democratic systems, free market economies, and international institutions. The use of violence between human beings will be eliminated and interhuman suspicion will be replaced with a spirit of brotherhood. While the realists do not agree with such a liberal view, realists see conflicts and wars between nations will last throughout the ages because those things stem from human nature itself. Human nature will not change, no matter how advanced technology or achievement in terms of material. Countries at any time, anywhere will pursue power. The actions of this country are born of human nature itself. The state is collective to individuals. The state also has a human-like nature. While the general nature of man is the need for power, in Thomas Hobbes' masterpiece entitled Leviathan in 1651, Hobbes states that the nature of human hope contains a perpetual and restless desire of power after power that cases only in death, which carries the meaning of the desire for power that has no end. Hobbes' explanation is that the need for power stems from the state of nature human condition of an anarchic nature. An in Greek means nothing, while archos means government. Anarchy means a state of non-government. That is the picture of the human condition in its primitive state. Without government, then there is no law except the law of the jungle. Whoever is strong can hurt and dominate the weak. No one knows what other people's intentions are. No one can be sure he is safe from the threats of others. This feeling of insecurity drives people to seek power in order to self-preservation. It is not a matter of good or evil. Even if you are a good human being, you need to be prepared to defend yourself in a state of anarchy. This situation will only change if there are people forming a society, which is a social contract, and handing over the right to use force to one of the highest authorities, namely the state. The state is a monopolist of violence. Only the state has the power to punish crime and carry out defense work. Only then did civilized life become a reality. The international relations of the country are the same as the original state of man, which is anarchy. Since there is no world government that can control the action of a country is free to attack other countries. This situation creates a feeling of insecurity among the country. International law is not the same as domestic law. Domestic law works because there is one authority that can enforce the law. If there are offenders of the law, then the authorities will punish the offenders involved. The authority is the monopolist of violence, the country itself. But that is not the case in the international political arena. Iraq invaded Kuwait. One word condemned Iraq and the other countries punished Iraq through force. The US invades Iraq. Who can punish the US? In fact, most international law is merely a tool to advance the interests of great powers. In international relations, what applies is the law of the jungle, The strong act as they please, the weak suffer as they should, as stated by Thucydides in A History of the Peloponnesian War. Balancing power can be achieved by increasing one's own strength or combining strength with other countries. So, cooperation between countries is actually to create a balance of power. Due to the changing power of the state, the alliance is also changing. Around the 1960s, Russia, which known before as Soviet, was stronger than the US. So the US formed an alliance with China. Today, the US is stronger than Russia, so Russia forms an alliance with China. Thus, in international politics, there is no permanent economy. Friends today can be enemies tomorrow. That is, the enemy to me is my friend. These are the most basic principles for understanding the action of the state. The most basic purpose of power balancing is to achieve safety and survival. After the country is free from threats of survival, only then can the country pursue power for the purposes such as prestige and value. Just like Maslow pyramid of human needs, after our basic needs are met, only then can we focus on bigger and higher things like the achievement of ambitions. It is useless to talk about ambition when our life and well-being are threatened. Prioritizing value over survival will bring consequences. That was the situation after World War I ended. At the time, internationalist liberals in democracies, which is Britain and France, argued countries to disarmament and criminalized war to ensure World War would not recur. The deprivation of power caused an imbalance of power between democratic countries, which is Britain and France, and fascist countries, which is Germany, Italy. Eventually, World War II broke out because such an imbalance of power provided an incentive for fascist countries to wage war. The idealist solution that tries to set aside the question of power not only fails to avoid war, but even almost mortgages the values being fought for. Assuming fascism win, then there is no more democracies on. Therefore, our understanding of international politics should always take into account power factors. As long as a state of anarchy exists in relation between nations, as long as that is international politics will be shaped by competition for power. This is what we call power politics.